Happy Friday, everyone.
Young blood made of gold, a mind you can't control. Running wild, can't come down. My head is in the clouds.
Let's go.
Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. And we don't care about the bad nights. For a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
Hit that thumbs up. That means you're rolling in. Get started.
We got a party for a lifetime. Oh, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. And we don't care about the bad nights. For a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. I'm on my last straw. I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done feeling your lies. I've had enough. I can't run your place in this faulty game. And all the words you speak mean nothing more to me. 'Cause I'd start over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my side.
All right. You ready to take it nice and slow?
I'm gone, so don't run from the truth. You're lost, now I know you played me just like a flute. I still can't believe you had me on a leash, cutting all my teeth with all the lies you bring. 'Cause let's start over now.
And now,
Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my side.
Audie, Emily, Wendy, Anna, Ricky, War, Rita, Ollie, Andy.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Don't know how you say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll fall now. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Today is September 6th, 2024. It is 7:38 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Hello, my pearls. Good to see you all. I really apologize for being late. I'm usually early. You guys know that, but things happen. Justin to the office, please. Justin to the office. You're being paged. Late slip for Justin. What can I say? It happens. It happens. It's so good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate it. You guys could have chosen to be anywhere, and you chose to be right here. Your time is valuable. I know that, and I appreciate it. You being here. Holly, thank you so much. Really do appreciate that, my dear. You are so good to see you. Hope you're doing well. You received one of those memberships. Please thank our beloved Holly for gifting that. Beep, beep, mother chickens.
This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 express train. The next stop is Fulton Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
certified. My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and
Thank you so much, Holly, for gifting one of the 5 pearl necklaces. If you received one of those pearl necklaces, again, please thank our sweet Holly. Helps both of us out. So thank you so much, Holly, for doing that. And I want to say your applications have been approved. Thank you guys so very much. Lily B, good to see you, dear. Thank you so much for becoming a pearl. Welcome to our family. Welcome to the Strand of Pearls. Thank you so much, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Glad you're running behind. I just took a shower and put some cornbread in the oven. Well, hello, Cindy. That's right. Can't go without the cornbread. I know. I know. Oh my God. Just when you think Tennessee couldn't get any more cray cray, Casey Anthony moves and puts a welcome mat down in Tennessee. Yes, that is right. Casey Anthony moved to Tennessee. Mm-mm-mm. Well, I know. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. Like, you can't expect anything else, right? Joe, thank you, Food Teachers. I'm so happy to catch you live. Lazy Saturday morning here. Love you. We are still on Friday night, Joe, where I'm at, but you're in the future. So, hope your Saturday is going well, my dear. Really do appreciate that, Joe. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you for being number 410 of the thumbs up, Connie. That helps us get to hopefully we can have a chicken party. Tomorrow's Bo's birthday. Awesome. We will sing you happy birthday tomorrow, Lord willing. Why is she going to have another child? Just saying Tennessee is the state to have one in. Well, hell, I mean, in my opinion, she got off before. So mm, mm, you know, I'll just zip it. Anyway, got a lot to talk about. Um, did anybody put a 1 in chat if you have not seen the News Nation interview that aired last night with Seth? Put a 1 in chat if you haven't. Oh, thank you, Canadian. Sweet Canadian. Love you to pieces, my dear. Thank you so much for gifting. Oh, you gifted too. Thank you so much, my dear. You received one of those from our sweet Canadian. Please give her a big thank you. Really appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much for your support. Lisa, hello, darling. Hello, Dustin. I'm grilling in the rain. I'm grilling in the rain and singing, right? Why not? Why not? It's supposed to rain here in a little bit, I think, tonight here. Thank you again, Canadian, for gifting a pearl necklace. Thank you, my dear. If you received that, make sure you thank Canadian, and thank you again, Lisa, for that. Really appreciate that. Um, damn, that many of y'all didn't see it? Wow. Okay, well, we'll play it again. We'll play it again. Okay. I was up really late last night. Really, really late. Guidance. Thank you so much for 5 continuous months. Really do appreciate you, my darling. Really do appreciate you. You know, I love you to pieces as well. And thank you again, Joe, for gifting a pearl necklace. You received that. Thank our dear Joe. She is in the future right now. She's in Saturday. We're still in Friday. So She's got special powers. Thank you, Serenity. Good to see you. Nick the Hat had a good live today. I think he was going off last video on the hate channels. I don't think he was talking about the good channels. Yeah, I mean, listen, I just appreciate, you know what I appreciate is that he knows the difference. You know what I mean? That's what I appreciate about the man. And it's not even debatable that Seth is the one that has been active in helping search for his son, um, bar buying some billboards, some digital billboards. Um, that's about the only thing I have heard of the feet doing. Yeah, so I appreciate that for sure, for sure. Oh, thank you, guidance. Yep. Mm, thank you, my dear. You received that. Make sure you thank our sweet guidance and not using drugs before a polygraph. Was someone supposedly using drugs before a polygraph? Serenity, I did watch a little bit of it. I did watch a little bit of it, when I was driving earlier. I did. I did. Sure did. Yep, it was good. It was good. And he sees the difference, and that's what matters. That is what matters. Uh, Seeing the difference, and you can trash someone to the hilt, right? People can trash someone to the hilt, but he is the only one that we see out there searching, doing interviews, and answering questions. Why is that? Usually, no offense to the dads, but it's usually the mom that takes the reins, right? And, you know, goes out there and says and does whatever the hell she has to. But all Sebastian has, as far as support in any news interviews, um, any of the social gatherings, anyone, any of the parental figures answering question is Seth. That is it. That is it. So, Pitch, thank you so much for 4 months, my dear. Really appreciate you looking gorgeous as always. Just thank you, my dear. Hope you talked to Nick the Hat tonight. He has fired me up and made me feel optimistic today. That's good. That's good. That's very good. That's what we need. That's what we need. Aunt B, thank you. Good to see you, Aunt B. 3 months. Hello, Justin, everyone. You look amazing tonight, Justin. Hit the like button, please. Yes, thank you, Aunt B, for 3 continuous months. Really do appreciate that. And yes, please hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Um, did I hear correctly that CP and KP are in California? I have not heard that. I did hear that Mr. Foot was allegedly in, I think it was Louisiana recently, but I'm not too sure about that, if he was or he wasn't. Um, we'll just have to, you know, we'll just have to see. You know, a lot of people was like, well, why didn't News Nation reach out to them for comment? Well, I mean, it's been over, are we at 7 months now? We're almost at 7. We're getting close to 7 months now. And you haven't made a comment to them in nearly 7 months. I mean, after you've reached out to them for comment for nearly 7 months and they haven't gave a comment. I mean, what are you supposed to do? I mean, uh in fact, the other day whenever the $50,000 reward came out, they said no comment. Then 3 days later or so, they finally gave a comment. Finally gave a comment. After lots of criticism, naturally, right? How could you not have a comment like immediately for the FBI giving you, you know, $50,000 in search for your son, which is something Seth has, wanted for so long, is the FBI to be more on this. So, Jana, welcome. Appreciate ya. Pearls look amazing on you, Jana. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Maybe they went to get the vehicle out of her name in California. I wonder about that, KB. According to the paperwork, it still says she's got one registered in California. Now, it could be something on the report that is wrong. It could be a clerical error of some sort, a computer error, but that's what it says. Uh, do you suppose that KP and CP watch this channel? Do I suppose? Yes, they do. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And if they don't, they have uh a couple people who watch for them, and they call the feet allegedly and tell them what's going on in the community. So there's that. There's always, if they're not watching, someone is there to keep them updated. Oh yes. Yes. Chris, definitely. They watch. They watch. Um how many interviews have they done in 7 months? Well, they did, I think it was about May was their last interview. I believe so. May, because they don't want. Well, yeah, Rita. That's the way it feels sometimes, doesn't it? It feels like sometimes more the hate is the hate for Seth, who is an innocent father, in my opinion. In this, the man was at work and wasn't, texted, please don't be mad, but Sebastian is missing. What? Didn't call the work number, right? Didn't call the work number. Misty, good to see you. Lord, we ask you for a miracle. Please bring Sebastian home safely and reunite him with Seth. In Jesus' name, amen. Justin Hun, God bless you and all the fam in chat. Thank you so much, Misty, for 1 month of support. Really do appreciate you, my friend. Truly. Thank you. RT to go. I bet they are stalking Mob Crew channel. They do. They watch. I know for a fact they watch a few of us for sure. They watch a few of us for sure. Um. So, we'll go over the interview that happened on News Nation last night. Now, it was a great interview. However, they named dog did not called Seth Sean, called Seth Sean in this interview. Um, and nobody corrected him. Nobody corrected him. I wish Ashley would have done that. However, she didn't. And, but I think Trishy said last night when I was live with this, she's like, I wouldn't care what they would call me. Just thank you for being here and helping find my son. Right. And that's what it's really about at the end of the day. Wouldn't you think? Now, we're going to talk about some things here shortly. I want to speak to you guys on uh the something about some timing, which is interesting. And to me, there is what I consider little clusters in this case that are key points, in my opinion, that not only don't make sense as, like what the parent, the mother, or the stepfather is saying, but it just doesn't make sense in the timing that it could have happened. We're going to go over that. And then we're going to work on the interview from Terry Lynn. Now, guys, I am looking for something, and if anyone knows where it is found, I don't know if like someone took it off or whatever, but there is an interview that Mr. Foote says he is speaking about getting his fifth will. And then he says something to the effect of he was getting it, or he was getting his mother's or his parents' fifth will ready for them. Okay, truth, sleuth, I got you. Um, so they could go out of town. Oh, hold on, guys. Hold on. What's this? All right. We'll watch this. I don't know what this is, but True Sleuth wants me to see it. And if True Sleuth wants me to see it, I'm going to play it. We need to give special credit to Steph's case file. I will put her link in the description. Bear with me. All right. Link is now in the description for the replay. Represent. There we go. Also in the chat. Also in the banner. All right. Here we go. Need to add a little music for ambiance. That would not be the one. We have to do it for using it under the Fair Use Act of 1976 for commentary, criticism, or educational purposes.
Not at work. According to a caller on the Pascal
Oops,
show,
wrong one. Wrong one.
last night, there was a interview with someone who works with Chris, or someone went to Chris's work, I should say. Correction. And again, remember, this is all rumor, allegedly, supposedly. We don't know for sure. It is unconfirmed. But the person who went to the work talked to a coworker who said that Chris was not there, that he left on the Friday prior to Sebastian going missing.
Now, I have heard this. I have heard this.
Which was, remember, early Monday morning. And then he said that he's going home because he had an upcoming court date with Nina in a few days regarding custody of their daughter.
Now, that's interesting, but it wasn't until the next week. It wasn't until next week.
So he left work on Friday and he did not stay. Now, if his truck and camper was at the house, then
Well, Nina said they had court next Tuesday.
we would have had an eyewitness say, well, I saw that there on Friday or Saturday or Sunday. So it seems to me that maybe this alibi, which was just blown out of the water, could be a part of this plan to not go home, not go to work, but be in a position where you could be in and out. Okay. So, do you think it's true? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you bookmark this so you can find your way back.
People don't understand. There was another YouTuber, I'm not going to mention his name, that went to Chris's job. Chris did not work that whole weekend. When he left on Friday, he told him that he was going home.
Wait, time out. Say what? You mean, okay, so wait. So just so I can make this clear, you're saying, okay, he was not there at all the whole week that Sebastian,
the whole weekend.
that same week,
Sebastian.
So that same
We love
weekend.
missing.
Now, also, Sebastian didn't have school that Friday either, did he?
So
I don't think there was
weekend
school.
that Sebastian went missing, he wasn't at work. So then where was he calling from?
I'm going to tell you, because when I heard that, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. What do you mean he wasn't at work? And this came from his foreman at the construction site. He said that Chris, when he left Friday, he told him he was going home.
Foreman at the construction site?
Wow.
And now all of a sudden, Sebastian's missing was not at work. And I'm thinking, okay, if Chris wasn't at work, that means Chris was at home. Katie had took baby boy out to eat and do all this fun stuff.
Right.
Chris was getting ready to go into a custody case with Nina.
Now that part is true. He was about ready to go in a custody case. Now, that would have been, several days before. Again, that is Steph's case files. Which that's interesting to me, because that's kind of what I want to go into today. Well, Chris said he didn't work weekends. He said we work Monday through Friday like any other ordinary family. That's what he said. That's his words. not mine. Again, his words, not mine. So that's kind of what I wanted to go into today. And that is, he said something very interesting. We'll get to the one dog interview. Just bear with me as I find this. So since we're on this topic now, let me find it if it is here somewhere. I think it was TikTok. Okay, here it is. It's originally from Smiley's interview, but listen to this. It might be a little low.
Chris, what time did you get home on Monday? Do you remember?
I want to say it was. Well, hold on. Let's see here.
Pause.
One something, I think.
Yeah. And then did you have to go back up there and get your camper? I mean, is that what you had to? Y'all had to go back and get that? Somebody had to drive it
Yes.
back? Or?
No. It's a fifth wheel. It's a fifth wheel.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't tell. Somebody was just
No. You know, so there's a couple things that, because of this whole situation, I hope families never endure.
Right.
Without going into great details, I almost lost my job.
Over this?
Yes, over this, very much.
What he says after this.
And because of that, I was like, well, so I got permission, and I say I got permission. I asked law enforcement, said, hey, I need to go down, go get my fifth wheel, and I need to bring it home. He's right.
Okay. Let's talk about that for a moment. Mr. Foote says, I almost lost my job, right? We've known that. It's nothing new. But he says, so I went down to get my motorhome or RV or fifth wheel or whatever the hell thing is, right? That. Now, let's think about that for a moment, right? Let's go back to February. Do I have it pulled up here? Let's go back to February. And let's look at that a little bit closer. Okay. That would be February 26th, 27th, 28th. Okay. All right. So here we go. We got February 26th is when called him and told him to retrieve. CP stated his boss called him and told him to retrieve his RV. Where did he say that, Scarlett? Where did he say that at? Can you give me a interview? Because I have never heard him say that. I've heard that as a rumor, but I've never heard that him saying that from his own lips. Could be wrong. That's why I'm asking you. But anyway, let's go over this. 26th is when Sebastian goes missing, right? He gets home at approximately, he says, 1:30 on the 26th, right? So the 27th, he says he's in Hendersonville, right? Sebastian, it's one day since he went missing. He leaves on the 28th, right? Less than 72 hours after Sebastian goes missing. less than 72 hours since he was called, right? Now, he says the reason he went to go pick up the RV is because his job was up in the air. Well, he said he almost got fired and his, he almost lost his job over it. Right? Now, do you think at all is your boss going to fire you if you leave on the 26th right here at around, he says around 10 a.m. and he's going to fire you the next day, and so you go get your RV the day after that? Is your boss going to fire you while your kid just went missing? No. No way. Not a chance, in my opinion. Right. Exactly. But that's what he is stating here in this interview. His RV could have stayed there. Yeah, I mean, you would think. I've got him on an interview where he says he pays for upwards to 3 months in advance of when he goes and pays for his, motorhome rent. Does his boss know he said that? It's a good question. Excuses are to the brim with him, in my opinion, of observation. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Why would your boss, we've all, or most of us have worked, and, when someone dies or someone, something real life changing happens, you give a lot more compassion toward that person, right? I wonder that myself, Lisa. I wonder that myself. Justin, could Mr. Foote have gotten fired for lying about their 5:15 a.m. in a crane? Right? And to me, that's the excuse that I feel like he gave. Well, that's another one, Heather. That's another one. Why wouldn't you just leave work immediately? I mean, his words, again, not mine. His words, but he states that he is up in the crane at 6:03 when Katie calls, because he's getting orders from this ear and he's also trying to talk to her and listen and understand her from this ear. So he says he's getting confused. And at that point, you would think, you would say, boss, listen, my son is gone. He's autistic. He's special needs, and my wife went to get him up for school, and he's not there. We think he walked out the door. Right? So there's that. The company that he works for, they give them an allowance for, and it's included in their check, for their hotels or whatever they're there to their housing, if you will. What was that? Also, his boss could not instruct him to come remove his fifth when he was also renting space at a public RV. Yeah, that's not, yeah, exactly. And his words again, he pays at least anywhere from a month to upwards to 3 months in advance. It's not what I'm saying. That is his words. I'm at 3rd Street. You can. Well, Sissy, there is like a parking lot and stuff there, but I do not think his RV was ever, or fifth wheel or whatever it is. I don't think it was ever at the St. Jude area at all personally. He was not working there. Yeah, the lodging. Don't someone say early on that the boss, the Sunshiner, that's what he said. That's what Chris said. Didn't someone say early on that the boss had told him to leave that day because his attitude was poor? That okay. Let's think about that scenario for a moment and see if that makes sense. The boss allegedly tells you to leave because your attitude is poor. So if his attitude wasn't poor, does that mean he was just going to stay there while his stepson was missing? You get what I mean? I mean, I think his attitude's pretty much always poor, in my opinion. But remember, this is like at 10:30. He says that he also speaks to law enforcement nearly all day until he got into Hendersonville. Again, his words, not mine. Why did he not get home until 1 p.m. that day? Sebastian went missing because he says he didn't leave. It was about 1:30. He says he didn't leave there till about 10 in the morning. She was sitting there, did not leave. Yeah. Now, there was this message from this person who said, I worked with Mr. Foot that day, and he had a bad attitude, so much so that my boss just told him to go home. Well, you would have think he would have went home a lot earlier. Now let's think about that. 6 o'clock to 10 or 10:30, right? That's 4 or 4.5 hours since he allegedly calls the non 911 number. At least according to him, he calls the non 911 number local to the police department. Yes, Thomas. Yes. That doesn't make sense. Why would they, first of all, fire you? Why would they, first of all, fire you the next day after you leave work? Even if his attitude was really crappy, right? Even if his attitude was really crappy, they're still not going to fire you, in my opinion. They're not going to fire you. I mean, your kid, your stepchild, is missing, right? And you're there working. I mean, there is rumor that he was there at 5:15 in the morning. There has been some sort of private investigator that went and said that they talked to his bosses and that he was indeed there at 5:15 in the morning, which makes no sense to me as well. None at all, especially if you didn't go to bed until midnight, you didn't get up till 1 o'clock, or you didn't probably go to sleep till 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, to be there at 5:15, you had to wake up at the very, very, very latest at 4:30. That means you got 3.5 hours of sleep. I think he probably needs more than that, because if you speak to the feet, them speaking on the phone for hours at a time, it's not a newlywed couple, they're not boyfriend and girlfriend. This was something that was very common for them. And if that is so, why didn't you speak during the weekend when you both had off, number one, and you had the morning time, the afternoon time, in the early evening time, right? So these things don't sit well. If you say you are in, so if you are in that crane at 6:03, right? At 6:03, and your wife calls you and she says, I can't find him. Can't find him. And you say, hang on a minute. Now, what is also interesting to me is that's at 6:03 is when she says 6 o'clock, she looks for just a minute or so, and then she calls Mr. Foote, and while that's going on, she's getting in the car. He's supposedly in the crane. The call doesn't go through, the non-911 call doesn't go through until 6:20 something. And it's not dispatched until 6:33, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. And then the cops doesn't show up till after 7. That is 1 hour. He told me to hurry up and get back home. The police are on their way. While you're on the supposed 3-way call with him and listening to the same thing he says, or that he's listening to, rather. So none of that makes sense. 6:38 is when the police were dispatched, and they arrived just after 7. That is 35 minutes from the time Mrs. Foote calls Mr. Foote. 35 minutes. Now, that's a lot of time. Right? When did she put clothes on? I would like to know. Yes, that would be it. That's an interesting question, Patricia, right? Interesting question. Because did she have her jammies on? Was she dressed for work? What was it? Nick, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Welcome to the family, my friend. Pearls look amazing on you. I love your poochie. It's so cute. Very, very cute. Thank you for your support, my friend. Thank you so much. Must have been on the 360 Life. Yeah, butterflies. That's what you would think, considering that's what Mr. Foote said. And what is amazing to me on all of this, right? The things that I have just mentioned, right? There is so many uh contradictions and things that doesn't make sense that people just seem to overlook these things and just say, well, I think Seth was sleeping in a garage at 3 o'clock, which he wasn't, by the way. I can tell you that unequivocally. Never happened. He was never sleeping in a garage. He doesn't work in a garage. So there's that. But Holly, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. Maybe he used the work radio to call or their phone. Don't know what you mean by that. Did he say this in interview to fit about the crane and got sacked because he couldn't then say to be at work? He wasn't in crane at the time. Once he said it, he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. I really wonder. My opinion is, was he really at work at all? Was he really at work when he said he was? Because you don't get fired the day after your stepson goes missing. It's just not going to happen. There was a truck driver in the chat. Yes, I spoke with him. I spoke with him after the live. Well, that is one thing that gets you fired, Mohawk, right? Is a no call, no show. Right? We call a no call, no show, meaning you don't call into work, right? Or you don't show up. You get fired. Bet Chris never planned. Right. But he says the reason he went and got it was because of his job was up in the air. I want to let you listen to that one more time. And right after he says, I almost lost my job.
What time did you get home on Monday? Do you remember?
I want to say it was. Well, hold on. Let's see here. One something. One something, I think.
Yeah. And then did you have to go back up there and get your camper? I mean, is that what you had to? Y'all had to go back and get that? Somebody had to drive
Yes.
it back. Or,
No. It's a fifth wheel. It's a fifth wheel.
oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't tell. Somebody was just
No. So there's a couple things that because of this whole situation, I hope families never endure.
right.
Without going into great details, I almost lost my job.
Without going into great detail, I almost lost my job.
Over this?
Yes, over this, very much. Yeah. And because of that, I was like, well.
And because of that,
So I got permission, and
so I got permission.
say I got permission. I asked
When I say I got permission, I asked. I know it's low.
law enforcement. Said, hey, I need to go down.
I asked law enforcement. I said, hey, I need to go down.
Go get my fifth wheel, and I need to bring it home.
I need to go down and get my fifth wheel and bring it home. He says, so because he almost got fired, that is why he brought his fifth wheel home. Nope. Nope. This is where, in my opinion, one of law enforcement's greatest mistakes seen from the outside. Seen from the outside. But at this point, we have to remember. Now, there's a couple things here. At this point, we have to remember that they are looking for a child that walked out of the house themselves. They're not expecting any sort of foul play at this point. Remember, this is less than 72 hours into the investigation of looking for Sebastian. So they let him go. Now, if they would do, what I call, a parallel investigation, meaning listening to the parents, taking that direction, and also treating any missing child's case as potentially foul play, this wouldn't happen, which is what needs to be done, in my opinion. 1% approximately is foul play. I think about 98% is something to the effect of kids willingly running away. So that is when he called Nina. And he was in this mood. And he tells Nina, Nina says, Christopher, I've got to get off of here and call my attorney because. So sorry, guys. This is another thing. He went to get that RV. Okay. We have no idea what was being done at that time. Now, listen to this, y'all. Nina claims in that interview that he was complaining because they took his phone and they hadn't given it back yet. Remember that? They took his phone and they hadn't given it back yet. Well, what phone was he speaking with? To Miss Nina while he was in Mississippi. What phone? And he could not call his daughter. Yes. Yes, Teresa. What phone was he speaking with? So there's that. Another thing is, again, they weren't expecting any sort of foul play. And so they did eventually check the RV, fifth wheel, motorhome, whatever the hell the thing is. They did in Mississippi. However, on day 3, there's no way that they did, because they let him go down there by himself, right? And just, I guess, do whatever. Because they really didn't start saying anything about an investigation or that there could be a possibility for foul play until about day 8 or so. What was that question? Justin, he could the CPS case, the belt case, cause him to nearly lose job? If working in hospital grounds on cranes, would that be a safety check on people for working on sites with vulnerable people? That's interesting. That's interesting. Right. Passion flower. So Sebastian never did try to hide under anyone's car. The neighbor actually got that wrong. He was confusing another kid in the neighborhood who he thought lived at the Proudfoot's home, but he lived at a different house. Remember, a lot of the neighbors didn't even know Sebastian lived there. So he never hid under a car or anything like that, ever. So that was misinformation based off of confusion from a neighbor. Need a truck to tow a fifth wheel? You sure do. If you're convicted of a crime, I don't know. He swap it out for mom TV. I don't know. Probably not. Do you recall anything back in the beginning of this about some type of phone call? I'm not sure who it was, but it was about a car that was left on the side of the road not that far from the neighborhood. Yes, that was a silver vehicle. I have the photo of that vehicle. But I think they figured that out, whose it was. Remember, KP had the house thoroughly cleaned by a cleaning company after. I did hear that. I have not confirmed that, but I did hear that. But I thought the house was always spotless. Why have a professional clean crew come in, though after reporting child missing? Yeah. Yes. Hey, Saucy. If he called law enforcement from his phone, they should be able to tell where it pinged from. Don't you think? Yes. Yes, you would think. You would think. You would think. I think I don't know. It just depends on how you look at it. Sometimes I think this happened much earlier in the evening, like 9-ish or so. Remember, it gets dark very early. Well, it's starting to be this time of year. The days are getting shorter. And then he had, if he is again involved, he had a lot of time to go down there, right? And I think if he was there at 5:15, that could be why. But something is off. Clearly, right? Something is clearly off. Thank you for that, Saucy. And thank you, Louise. Appreciate you, my dear. Thank you, thank you. My voice keeps cutting in and out, maybe on your end. Is my voice okay, guys? Yes, even how he timed Sebastian's, he put a time frame. My voice is good? Okay. All right. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Okay. Here is most of the interview from last night. About 5 minutes long. Credit goes to News Nation. Ashley Banfield reporting on this. Let me get out my stuff here. Let's see if FBI, open up! Oh, that's not it. Sorry. You ready, cool cats and kittens? I'm such a dummy. All right, let's go. Maybe.
It's going to pain you Ashley? To hear it, but there really are boogeymen out there. There really are. There are evil people who snatch kids away from the one place on earth that they should be completely safe. Their own beds. Just ask the parents of Elizabeth Smart. Just ask the parents of Jessica Lunsford or Polly Klaas or Madeline McCann. Those are kids who are tucked in tight. 1 minute, gone the next. And sometimes these kids make it home again. Think about Elizabeth Smart. Oftentimes, sadly, they do not. Always, though, the people who love them keep hoping. And when the headlines fade, the rest of the world moves on. But tonight, we are all hoping for the safe return of Sebastian Rogers. And if you have forgotten Sebastian, and I hope you have not, we are past the 6-month mark from the night that he went to bed back in February, but was gone by morning. And when I say gone, I mean gone. No notes, no leads. Sebastian's clothes, even his shoes, were still there. He's 15. He's from the Nashville area, and Sebastian has autism, which does not make the search or the investigation any easier. The Tennessee police and the FBI have been on the case from the start, but so far, nothing. The feds even put up a $50,000 reward for information leading to Sebastian Rogers' return. And now that reward has doubled to $100,000, thanks to America's most famous bounty hunter. I want to welcome back to the program Sebastian Rogers' father, Seth Rogers. And also with us is Tony Mathis. He speaks for the Rogers family during this emergency. And the man who now is on the Sebastian Rogers case, Dog the Bounty Hunter. Welcome to all three of you. Seth, I'll come to you first. We spoke, I think, 10 weeks ago or so, and I just wanted to touch base with you. Have you had any updates, any news, anything at all that that feels promising?
We've had some, and we've had some tips. And I've passed them over to Sumner County and my private investigator that's working on it. But
my question is, why would the feet not be so excited to join on national television, right? To get Sebastian's name out, right? Even if it's just Dog the Bounty Hunter, trying to find out, information, being an advocate of some sort, getting you more resources. So, I mean, if that were you at home, would you pass up that opportunity? Alafade, it wouldn't surprise me because of the sheer narcissism that Chris has, and I don't know why, because, he's not much either, in my opinion. Yeah, you wouldn't pass it up. You would not pass it up. People beg, and write these news stations, us creators, all the time to give them, tell their story, right? Where so they declined to join. They declined to comment, all of that.
But as for news from Sumner County, no, I don't even know if they follow up with any of the tips we give them anymore.
Can you share those tips publicly, or do you have to keep them under the veil?
I've heard this going around that some people took this as Seth saying that he doesn't give the tips to law enforcement. He never says that here. He says he doesn't even know if they follow up on them. That's what he said. And he's not the only one that has said that. Bobby, she asked for someone to call her back. Nothing. That is not saying he does not. Of course he gives it to them.
Best understood.
And we've had some tips.
Do you think Dog's staff has not checked and verified where Seth was on the night. Do you think they would be up there doing an interview with Seth if for 1 second they thought he did anything? They wouldn't for 1 second.
Not passed him over to Sumner County and my private investigator that's working on it. But as for news from Sumner County, no, I don't even know if they follow up with any of the tips we give them anymore.
Can you share those tips publicly, or do you have to keep them under the vest, understandably?
I'm keeping them under the vest because if they are Sebastian, I don't want somebody that doesn't have his best interests following up on our lead. Some people are doing leads and they don't even want to be involved in this case. And I can understand why. I mean, we've got people that are out here in the social media world that, you know, throw daggers at everybody that's helping me find Sebastian. And we've even had him go to jail now.
Dog, jump in here. You know this blueprint, right? You know when a parent is trying everything. They're hiring their own people outside of the police. They're collecting tips. They're passing them on. They're processing. Where do you take this case now that you're on board? How do you do things differently? And since it's been 6 months plus, how do you even begin?
Well, we began at the very beginning. And because I'm not a real law enforcement officer, I can do a lot of things that law enforcement cannot do.
That's right.
And I don't break the law, but I will bend it till its fracturing point. So it's very sad because in the very beginning, I thought Sean may be involved in some kind of disappearance, or I thought the little boy was deceased.
All right. Dog calls Seth Sean. So when he says Sean, he means Seth. Nobody corrected him. Ashley should have corrected him.
Days now into it, I have talked to Sean. I know that he was working. This is his only child. I have 12. I've been through this before one of my daughters were killed, but this is amazing. I know that he had nothing to do with this. This guy can barely even talk without crying.
Quote from Dog. I know this guy has nothing to do with this. He's not going to stand up there with a criminal unless he's interviewing him.
Looking at him tonight, and we're both, crybabies. I'm looking at him right there on your show, and I'm like, I just want to start crying. Listen, I'm going to hunt these people down. I think the boy is still alive. I'm telling you right now, Ashley, I think this little boy was stashed somewhere because custody was just going to get very soon.
Dog thinks that Sebastian is still alive. He thinks he has been stashed somewhere. Enjoy life. Thank you, love. Thank you. Dog did a video, Sebastian, a few months back. Anyone have the source of that older video? Can we watch it? I'll look for it right now.
Very, very soon, Mr. Rogers was going to get custody of his son. And I think there's so much jealousy. You know the old saying, if I can't have him, nobody will have him. I think that's exactly what we're seeing here, is a domestic squabble over a child.
I disagree with him there. Personally, I disagree with him there. I don't think this was that. personally, in my opinion. Now, Katie may have not wanted him to go. But Mr. Foot did. Mr. Foot did. And so I think he would have been found. Hey, Ebony, good to see you. The reason KP couldn't have him is because of CP. Yes, that's true. That's right. So why would she stash him? Right? Why would she stash him in a area where she's not able to see him? It's not like she can go without an eye being on her now, right? Especially from law enforcement. Whenever she could actually see him whenever she wanted from Seth. That's my opinion. That's my logic on it. Yeah, I think there's going to be some. I think he's going to change his tune on this. To be quite honest with you, this was months ago.
The years of investigating, same thing.
418.
Usually, a family member had done something. You know, usually there is a dump ground, your trash dump ground nearby, or a lake. Lie detector tests don't work. Well, they do use them. They don't work on certain individuals.
They don't work on certain individuals.
I think the parents, anybody close to him, take a lie box. If they volunteer, okay, I'll take it. Then, you know, they take it, they pass. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, So where you start with autistic kids is the family members, because it's hard to raise an autistic kid. See, Grace, I never met her. But
it appeared that, you know, Sebastian was, you know, wanting friends. He's getting, you know, friends are important for us no matter what our age is, right? But they're really important once we start maturing, right? Once we're in that teenage time, we need that friend we can tell our things we're working out on our own, right? And so I think personally he's going to start bucking Mr. Foot, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And so I think it could have been something like that. I think he was bucking Mr. Foot, and anyone that does that to Mr. Foot is, you know what happens. He gets rid of them or it, the animals, right? The wives, the animals, the stuff. And again, that's not my words. That is his words that he has said. I'm just telling you what he has said. DJ, thank you so much, my dear, for gifting 5 memberships. Really do appreciate you. If you received one of those, please thank our beloved DJ, Beep Beep Mother Chickens.
This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 express train. The next stop is Fulton Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
To the certified. My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and
Thank you so much, DJ, for gifting 5 memberships. Again, if you received one of those, please thank our beloved DJ. Good to see you, DJ, and thank you so much for your support. The 5 that just received their memberships, your application has been approved. Congratulations, my dear new pearl. Thanks to DJ. Truth. Oh my God. Thank you, honey. Thank you. You are very generous and a sweetheart. And I hope your birthday was amazing yesterday. Justin Dog has captured over 10,000 fugitives in his time as a bounty hunter. I agree. He has done his research and due diligence in checking out Seth. In my opinion, with his connections in and out of law enforcement, he has a good chance of uncovering much needed answers. Yes. Yes. And I agree with that. And I believe it has been a great week in the Sebastian Rogers case because things are moving. We've had more happen in the last week or so than we have since the beginning of the case, right? Or since any interviews. Things are starting to at least move forward in this case. More FBI coming out. By the way, you know, Sebastian is on the FBI wanted as a missing person now, right? That is on there now. Not only that, we've got the reward fund from FBI. We've got it from, I think, Nick. And then we've got it from Dog the Bounty Hunter, right? And I'm sure that makes the people who did this very uncomfortable, right? And he said exactly what he said. We're coming for you. We're coming for you. Justin, I wonder if anyone besides me thinks it's very sus that the neighbor, the one and only, won't talk. I think they saw something. No, Chris. Don't think that because I can tell you great people live in that neighborhood. They really, really do. And there's only not, let me just tell you, one neighbor. It's not just one neighbor who won't speak. Um, they have all turned in everything that they have. And from what I think is that they have been told not to speak, especially on specific questions I asked. Uh, Even some of the people that I speak to, some of the people that what's this? What's I can't think of his name. Mob crew. They either can't answer or they won't answer some certain things. And then there are some that don't, they saw what happened to Bobby and, they get attacked, and they're just neighbors. They want their neighborhood back, not knowing how a child went missing, and the neighborhood is full of kids. It's full of kids. So they want to keep the peace as well. And listen, they've all spoke to law enforcement, but that's really private, right? Really, really private. And if they come out here and speak, some of them come out here and speak, that's that's public, and they do want to keep the peace in the neighborhood as well. So there's multiple reasons why they won't, or maybe can't speak. Yeah, Hunter's Madness, a lot of the neighbors asked, they said, should we, like, is there someone on the loose that is getting, children? Should we be extra precautious? And they wouldn't give any answer, and they said, well, you should always be cautious. Well, no crap, but there is, you know, different precautions, different levels. Even though, oh, yes. Yes, Babs. Yeah. There were neighbors that didn't even know a child lived in that house. Yes.
But she used to speak at the bail bonds convention for us. And that happened to be that day I was sick. But she's a very good investigator. So she usually comes up with stuff, But I would say there's a family member or even a neighbor that is just, and how young was the boy?
He's 15.
Yeah, so without leaving a site, that means somebody, dumped him somewhere, and it's very sad. There's a show on A&E called 48 Hours.
Yeah.
And after 48 hours, 90% of people missing, age, gender, and all that have been,
QSA. See, I get this question asked quite a bit. Do you think if anyone was being buried in a churchyard at the time, would he be missing? Can't get it out of my mind. CP telling Seth to go to church to find him. Whenever someone is buried, and like the family leaves, right? There is usually some, the people who get ready to bury the person, they put them in, if they don't lower them down in the vault, they'll just keep them up there, and they'll lower them down later into the vault. So that's never ever even been, for me, much of a consideration. So I personally don't think that would be likely, in my opinion. But so I just kind of, I don't know if you ever, I used to work for a funeral home, so that's why I can answer that. Did Sebastian like to go fishing? He went fishing with Seth. So that was dog. Hold on. 1 second. Let me see if. Okay. Hey, dog, we need a big dog in the hunt. Oh, that's interesting. I can't play the music here, but someone on TikTok made a video for dog on March 23rd. And hey, dog, we need a big dog in the hunt for 15-year-old missing autistic Sebastian Rogers. I brought the Cajun Navy and Equisearch, but I still need a bigger dog. Woof woof. P.S. I'm a Chapman. So that's really cool. That's really cool. Oh, thank you so much, Tina. Really do appreciate you, my friend. Good to see you. I watched a clip on the FBI list and Sebastian being up in top 10. They said FBI is definitely making a statement here. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's in the top 10 list because is it in the top 10 list? I know it's in the, so look here. Let me show you. If we go to the FBI website, we look how recently it was put on all right. So this goes by the most recent. And Abby Lynn Patterson and Sebastian Rogers, right? Those are the last two that the FBI has put on there in the last week or so. Right? So there's that. What's going on? Ian. What's this gypsy saying? I can't see. Who made a mistake? If I made a mistake, let me correct it now. So, or if I said something wrong. That's why I want to see. Who was it that said that? Yeah, Grace, exactly. 47 likes to go till we have a chicken party. Hey, TJ, good to see you. Heather and Justin, in my opinion, seriously, what if CP's parents drove him to a private school far away? I think that is extraordinarily, respectfully unlikely. Is it impossible? No, it's not impossible. In my opinion, I would give that like he's in a school or a hospital or anything like that. I would say it's probably less than 1%, probably much less than 1%, in my opinion. But I think he would have been found if he was in any public, because he would have to have prescriptions. One, you have to have doctor care, right? There is things that are out there that Justin, she said she could not take dog serious because he called Seth Sean. Oh, that's, I mean, this guy's found over 10,000 people. Respectfully, I take that very seriously. Very, very seriously. He can call me, whatever, you know, like someone said last night in chat, just find my kid. I'm bad with names. I'm bad with remembering anything, especially after my limes. All right. Well, it wasn't intentional. I mean, it wasn't intentional. It just wasn't. But yeah, it says the newest, and it goes by Abby and Sebastian number 2. And this is a big deal because there's only 121 people on their website. Right? That's a big big thing. In my opinion, I respect everyone else's opinion. Y'all have turned into a sour group over this. No longer enjoyable. Good grief. Grace you speak of. Who's not giving anyone grace? Gypsy? Who's not giving anyone grace? Nobody's yelling or, putting anyone down. So, yeah, don't block her, time her out. We're going to give her grace. Hey girl, how you doing? Katie's right now on your thumbnail looks like I know. I can't fix it. I even tried to fix it and it won't let me fix it. So I prefer the red grapes personally. I like the red grapes better. Just saying. So yeah, big deal. Big deal that he is on there for sure. What else do I got here? But I do disagree with him on that. In fact, it's actually rare that we even get a comment like that over here. Yes. Not. Yep. Did we hit 1,000? Did we hit 1,000? Uh-oh. Hold on. Watch this. Where did it go? Where did Lolo go? Lolo busted her grapes. Clean up on aisle 2, please. Clean up on aisle 2. Clean up on aisle 2, please. All right. Let's have FBI, open up! A chicken party. How about that? Let's find it.
Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Katie! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Oh, Grace! Christopher! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Christopher! Christopher! Oh, Grace! Grace! Katie! Oh, Katie! 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 Oh, Katie! 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 Oh, Katie! Katie!
Snacks because, he's 15 and snacks. Snacks because, he's 15 and snacks.
Something that I believe we're pervy to. Something that I believe we're pervy to. Something that I believe we're pervy to.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, even a fly, and he's like, oh!
Okay.
I mean, even a fly, and he's like, oh!
Edgar, your skin is hanging off your bones.
Give me sugar, water. More.
It's
more.
2016 Chevy Diesel 2500. I think.
Oh, your skin is hanging off your bones.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm seriously going to make that van say Brinks. I swear. Here is when they were going down in Mississippi.
You're coming with me.
What?
It's a long trip. I'll need a snack.
Oh my God. How about that? Thank you all for getting us to 1,000 thumbs up. Really do appreciate that, my loves. Today's dream. What is it? Is it someone else's birthday? Is it someone else's birthday? Thank you, Holly. Thank you, my dear. Appreciate you. Love you guys too. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. All right. What else do we have on the menu today? Let me see. We've got to still go over the TL interview. We only did 9 minutes last night in 2 hours or something. I was talking my head off. Oh, I wanted to show y'all this real quick. Y'all got to see this. Here it is. Who is that? Who is that? Who do you think it is? Oh, it's Dreamcatcher's birthday. I gotta sing happy birthday to Spirit Seeker, Dreamcatcher. Who else? Yes. Oh crap, I was muted. Did she buy a house on Stafford? What do y'all think? Who said that always? Sixth wife in town. So she relocated to Tennessee to be with a married boyfriend, homewrecker. Homewrecker. Get out your banjos. We're gonna sing Homewrecker Casey. Homewrecking Uzzy Casey. Bad, thank you, my dear. Christy Lee's birthday as well with her married boyfriend. Does he have kids? Please tell me he doesn't have kids. Oh my God, I just thought of that. Please, Lord have mercy, tell me he doesn't have kids. Please tell me he doesn't have kids. Two kids. Adults. Okay. Whew. He has two kids. She's more than a home wrecker. Yeah. I don't know how the woman sleeps at night. I don't know how she sleeps at night. She's something. She got in a mess, what, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. She was down in Florida, in Miami, partying, and she got in a fight with a girl, allegedly, I'll just say. And there's a call, there's the 911 call. She's like, "I'm Casey Anthony," like, talked so confidently, very arrogant, right? Very arrogant. Shars Angel, welcome to you. Appreciate you, my love. Thank you so much. SL, can you play MGL phone call to CP? I don't know if I should or not. I don't think I even have it, actually. I can't believe she was acquitted. I can't either. I can't either. To be known knows the truth about. Yes. Well, she did an interview on it, I think last year. Please, it's priceless. I mean, I don't have it, I don't think. Let me see. Check this TikTok video out. Okay. I'm looking for it, but I don't see it.
Of investigating, same thing. Usually a family member had done something.
Oh,
You know,
I just played this. Yeah, I just played that one. Best Beastly. Tracy, whoever did this, I can just about tell you that they this last week has probably had to be even more uncomfortable since probably the beginning of when this happened, wouldn't you think? Because right? Whoever did this is watching everything that's going on. They would have to be, right? What does that say, SL? I resent it to you today. I just typed your name in here, but I don't see it. Okay, look at this. Someone just sent me this as well. So, let's clear this up. And I appreciate someone sending me this because this has long been thought. This is 2023 and 2024, February 2024, 16th. He was not off that Friday, according to this calendar. Yesterday to please go to Terry Lynn's. Yes, I do too. I do too, Eileen. I do too. I may yeah, Brandywine. Marissa's funny. She's hilarious. Split up between them all, a couple channels apiece. Yeah, so this, can y'all see that? Right here, February. it would have been February 23rd. He would have had school. He would have had school. So he did not get off. Look for the 23rd. Look for the 23rd. The 23rd is the Friday. Right? And green is student in school. Right? February 23rd. So now we know for sure. Have you heard the song Silver on the Scene tribute to Sebastian? No. I didn't even know he sung. Well, that's nice, isn't it? That's really nice. Didn't have school on 2/19 President's Day. Yeah. Where is it on his channel? I haven't got to watch anybody. Let me play this while I'm pulling this up. How about that?
Would actually have to be credited to Katie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not it. This one was it. I think it was. And this.
That maybe he would have seen.
Yeah, socks. My neighbor
Socks?
behind me, it's their cat.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, he runs. He walks through the fences and
Maybe this
walks all the way
wasn't it
around the
either. Let me just find the
neighborhood.
thing.
He
Does
was seen
socks
on
walk-
multiple
sock-
cameras.
Does socks walk over to where the retention pond would have been? Do you know?
Very possible. I'm not going to say he wouldn't, but it's very possible.
Well, my thought process is just like if he was happening to like look out a window or something and saw like the cat, and maybe he was like, "Oh no," you know what I mean, or gonna go see it and it started running or something.
Well, I'm gonna tell you now, it's so dark in our neighborhood.
Yeah,
At
it would
that
be
time of
hard.
night, there's no way he saw the cat walking.
Right.
I mean, for Christ's sakes.
That wasn't it. All right. Silver on the Scene. Here we go. What's it under? Community. Horn Lake. I love Silver. I'm glad y'all went over and subbed to him. Good guy. I appreciate it. He works really hard. I never heard this audio. What's it under? And that's exactly, Amanda. They will shut down every theory, right? They'll shut down. Yeah, he could only went out this. He could only went out the front door. Under video. That's all he has. He doesn't even have. Hold on. Okay. Here we go.
Never stop searching. We will never stop searching for you. For you. For you. From Hendersonville to Nashville, country roads and mountains high, people out searching, looking for you. We will search until the day we die.
He's got a good voice.
We will search where the breeze takes us, where the sun shines, where the rain falls.
Got green hearts in the chat.
We will follow the birds as the crow flies in search of you. Today, tomorrow, and all year through. Never stop searching. We will never stop searching for you. For you. for you. Your smile lit up the world, you know. You now have 1,000,000 friends. People genuinely love you, and our search will never end. Never stop searching, we will never stop searching for you, for you, for you. Never stop searching, we will never stop searching for you, for you, for you. Million hearts are breaking each new day that passes by. We wake up wondering where you are. Every day we cry. Never stop searching, we will never stop searching for you, for you, for you. Never stop searching, we will never stop searching for you, for you, for you.
Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Um, isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing how strangers, right, write songs, right? Write songs, write poetry, do paintings, pray, right? Search, think day in and day out about where this child is, what could have happened to him. It gives faith in humanity. Absolutely. I honestly, I know the people say the world is crap and stuff. I actually disagree with that. Um, I think there's crappy things that happens in all generations. Things change. And I think, there's strengths and weaknesses in all of our times for humanity on earth. But I think personally, we're at a better place than we were, you know, a few hundred years ago. And, things just change. And I really believe still most people are decent at their core. Doesn't mean they're perfect. It doesn't mean they don't screw up. It doesn't mean they won't screw up in the future. But I really believe most people are good. Um, um, what is the psychological reasoning behind CP going on panels and having phone calls, behaving in the manner he does or did? Well, I think it can be summed up in his first or second news interview. Well, I mean, all of his interviews, is literally his first interview. And in my opinion, it was them behaving as the parents concerned, but it was a preemptive control. And I also think it was them saying, listen, I got nothing to hide. Fire away. Fire away. Right. But when you ask the really tough questions, they are either used with, creative way he phrases his words, right? It's semantics, or it is law enforcement has dictated me not, hey Daisy Love, to speak about that. Law enforcement has dictated you to not speak about you being home a month prior, nearly weeks prior. I just don't believe it. If there was 1 cent of Sebastian walking away, right, leading to somewhere, right, or he was on camera somewhere, and the shoes thing, right, I think none of us would be where we're at today. Just those, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff, but it would have been a whole different ball game. We won't forget, or we won't forget. And so, we know, and I know this for sure, that Sebastian scent was inside the home. Obviously, there was, and again, we don't know how old the scent is. It's just his most recent scent of him, from being in the driveway or the backyard or whatever. And that shows that if Sebastian walked off, there should be a scent of him, especially barefooted, right? Like with your shoes on, with rubber boots on, you're going to have a scent. You just can't stop it, right? Regardless of their behavior and all of that, but just those little things, well, those big things, but those few things there. Anthony, it was the best surgery ever. Yep, Anthony. You're going to do fine with your surgery. You will be so glad you had that surgery. And the first couple days, I'm not going to lie, is a little rough recovering. It hurts to breathe because you're so sore. But yeah, you'll really be appreciative of it. Thank you. Um, Justin, in your opinion, if Sebastian is found and alive, which parents will he ultimately live? So if Sebastian is found, right, and if there is foul play with any of the parents, he won't be living with the parents because they will be in prison. Okay. They will be in prison regardless of who it is. But I don't believe, uh, based upon everything I know, Seth being at work, he had no reason to do this. There is no motive, there was no means, there was no opportunity for him to do this. So if there is foul play from a family member, they're going to be in jail for a while. Sebastian might go to dance. You can't hide a child and expect, right, like people to be searching while you know where they would be and get away with it. It's a lot of money. It's difficult on the child extremely. Um, I hope he's alive. God, I hope he's alive. I don't, in my opinion, I don't think so, though. But there's nothing more in this world that I would love to be wrong about. Nothing. These interviews with part of Chris's plan to create diversion and distractions. Yes, yes. Okay, we're gonna watch we're gonna do some of the Terry Lynn. Bo, thank you so much for your super sticker, my dear. Really appreciate you. Tiffany, thank you, my dear. Nick the Hat, new video. Twitter says a lot. Here, I'll see if I can find it. 1 second. Let me find it on Twitter. You mean X, right? Here, I'll pull it up. Oh, that's the one he was on that's the same one he was on YouTube earlier. Same one on YouTube. Thank you for that, my dear. Appreciate you. Justin, do you think KP's trip to look for was unjamming cameras? Pink Butterfly, I for me, I don't do a lot of YouTubers, especially in true crime, and I try to say this as respectfully as possible, do a lot of conspiracy theories. And I'm really trying to say this respectfully, guys, but conspiracy theories for people who want to explain something about crime is generally just being lazy. It's just being lazy. It's just an easy way to pass this off as this may have happened. And I will not say that there are no camera jammers, especially if it is pre-planned, but I don't think it is. I mean, it is interesting how Friday that camera does mess up and it works again a couple days, the time kicks back on. Now, I know that there is other creators who have said that doorbell cameras have fried, more than one. I have not been able to confirm that. So I won't say no, they haven't, but I'm just saying I have not been able to confirm that multiple cameras have fried. Yeah, Lisa, I've heard that. I've asked the people that I've spoke with, and I just haven't got the same answer. So, and truthfully, a lot of the people who say Seth is involved, there is not even a basis. There's not even a base to base it on. There's not even anything. It automatically starts off with conspiracy. Automatically. And that's the only way they can get Seth to be involved. It automatically starts off with conspiracy. Done. Well, if you automatically start off with conspiracy, kiss it goodbye, because that is not going to work in law enforcement. That is not going to help find Sebastian. It's just not. I mean, saying that, for instance, Seth had someone from a jail do this for him. Well, that's conspiracy because there is no factual basis for that at all. Lisa, like what conspiracies in the last 3.5 years? And most conspiracy theories, they'll start out with some truth in it, some actual truth, but then they branch off because that's what someone thinks it could be. That's just someone's opinion. Law cannot work with conspiracy. I can't work with conspiracy. I won't work with conspiracy. Would you work with conspiracy finding your kid? Any of you? Just let me know. Would you yourself work with any sort of conspiracy? Finding your own child? Well, then why in the hell would we accept anything less for anybody else? Mm. Oh, I know. SL, the Idaho 4. Jesus. It is conspiracy, conspiracy, conspiracy. And conspiracy has Nothing. Did that girl reply about all the conspiracies that she believed in the last 3.5 years? Lisa. I'd like to see that. Ginger, thank you, my dear Justin. Your sweet spirit shines through your top. Aw, thank you, Ginger. Keep being exactly who you are. While we are all maybe different opinions, we are all here for a common goal: to bring the sweet boy home where he belongs. Absolutely. Thank you for that, sweet Ginger. Appreciate you. What if Katie were the babysitter? Yes. These people would have a totally different opinion. Of course they would. Of course. If Katie was the babysitter, everyone would have a different, I'm sure, just not everyone. I can't say everyone, but I would say most people would certainly have a different opinion. Or was sentenced today, and that was a. Oh, really? Did she reply? Oh, I mean, you can type. It's okay. It's okay. Just put some stars for, um, and I'll fill in the blanks. It does. I mean, it doesn't have to be, uh, you know, but especially in true crime, conspiracy is never needed. You can't go with that. And, you know, I mean, there's a lot of conspiracies in government and all that stuff. And, some of them, there's some truth to it. Yeah, I do too, Kat. I do too. I genuinely want to know, like, what she feels has came through for her in the last 3.5 years. Has conspiracies actually came out to be true? Yes. Yes. Not a lot, but there has been, but not in true crime. I just don't see it in true crime at all. At all. Let's see here. Do y'all want to do the Terry Lynn interview tonight, or do you want to do it tomorrow? Well, I mean, we won't even get through shit much of it tonight, but let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I need to find that where he says where Mr. Foot says he helped his mom clean that out. I'm getting today, tomorrow. Okay. Tonight, tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow, but don't end it. I don't know what else to talk about. I can't handle. Marlene is too hot. It's too hot and she's already irritated. She sent me a picture earlier and it was like 90 some degrees. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. In fact, I think that could be one of the things where that could have happened. I don't think Sebastian is in Alaska at all. 107 on Sunday. See, we're starting to cool down. Like we were like 70 degrees like yesterday or day before. It was so nice. Wait, let me see here. What's the weather? Tomorrow, the high is 67. Sunday, 68. Monday, 75. Tuesday, 80. Wednesday, 81. Thursday, 80. Friday, 78. That's really nice. That's really nice. Now, it usually gets about 5 or so degrees warmer than. Oh, MTB, that's awesome. I always like a good live, like a really long live when I'm traveling. It makes the time go by so much quicker. Like I can listen to a live while I'm driving and it feels like I can do like 6 hours and it feels like nothing. I can do some call-ins. Hold on. Let me go tinkle. I'll play something. 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second.
We're lying about doing
Was that the first time? Was that the first time you had ever hit him with a belt?
Yes, ma'am. The one and only time, actually.
When was this?
Years ago, ma'am.
Any idea how many? 3, 10, 1?
It probably at least 3 years ago.
I don't understand how that turned into a CPS or Child Protective Services complaint. How were they alerted that you hit him with a belt?
That did not turn into a CPS service call.
There were other CPS reports, right? Were they regarding your other child?
There is one in regards to my daughter that I know of out in New Mexico with my ex-wife and myself.
What happened?
At the time, my ex-wife had fled to New Mexico with my daughter. We're going through a custody and a divorce case at that time. And at the time, when I'd call and try to check in on my daughter, I could never reach my ex-wife at that time. So a welfare check was requested. Law enforcement told me to call CPS if I had concerns. So I called CPS. Law enforcement did make a welfare call, and that was it.
Then how does that turn into a CPS complaint against you?
I have no idea, ma'am. There's a lot of misinformation out there right now in regards to my New Mexico case.
He didn't want to answer it. That is the reason. That is the reason he got the call. And he says it was years ago, ma'am. Years ago. Not a chance. YouTuber Nick video, please. Yeah. I don't want to play it. I don't want to play it. Thank you for being a member for 5 months. Nice to meet YouTuber. I don't know if he likes anyone playing his stuff or not. Your lips are moving, your lips are moving, your lips are moving, but you lie, lie, lie. Yes, exactly. If anybody wants to call in, you can call in. Put your pull up CP and KP. I thought it was interesting how Chris said in an interview that Katie needs to put on her big girl pants and needs to be a big girl. Oh, Molly Golightly phone call. I'll play that. Let me see. I will play the Molly Golightly phone call. I was in there yesterday. Cindy. Hello, how are you?
Okay.
Good.
I found a Duchess video today. I was looking through all the old ones,
Mm-hmm.
and this one was on March the 17th. It says it's the second interview with him and Chris and Katie.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he's talking on there, and she asked him if Sebastian had a routine, and he said yeah. He said, well, trying to find it here on my list.
You're fine.
He comes home. Said he comes home from school. He does his chores. Then they eat dinner.
Yep.
Then he said it's usually around. He said sometimes. He said it depends. It's sometimes around 5, 6, 7, something like that.
Yes.
He said, but then after that, says Sebastian usually takes a shower around 7 o'clock. Then he goes to bed at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
I wanted her to ask him so bad, or ask Katie if shower Sunday night at 7 o'clock. But of course, she didn't ask him. But I had never heard that interview before. It's the first time I've heard it.
Yep. And he also says, I don't have a time frame for him to eat, like what time he should eat or not. It's like, what the hell?
And then he said she was asking if he gets up during the night. And Katie said sometimes. She said he'll get up during the night. And she said he'll go in there and get snacks. I said usually it's Chris said, well, usually it's snacks that he's not supposed to have. He'll go in there and get a couple times, he'll get up during the night and go in there, and get snacks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said that Katie said they got a phone call to go pick up the niece. And so they went and picked up the niece and then went to BJ and met her mom. Met her mom there. Then they brought the groceries home.
No, met her sister-in-law. Oh, okay. I got you. I see what you mean. Gotcha. Okay.
Well, Tucker needs to meet her mom, which is her sister-in-law. And then they went to the bowling alley, then to dinner, then came home.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting. Well, I'll look. Yeah, I know what you're definitely talking about for sure.
Yeah, and then he's talking about the CPO against him that he filed against Nina, and then when she went back home, she filed one against him.
Yeah, that was in December. That was just in December. Oh no. Sorry, that was the custody thing, wasn't it? In December.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was interesting. Some of it I'd heard before, but according to the list I've got, they spoke to Duchess on the 3rd, and then
Yep.
again on the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I found this one on the 17th. So I thought, well, I'll listen to it. But, some of it was the same as what they had.
Yeah, I think she clipped maybe some stuff and made a video out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Well,
And I've been watching different ones,
Mm-hmm.
trying to find that about the RV and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, Tammy, take care, honey. Get some rest. Well, thank you. If you find that, please let me know. Someone just sent me something, so I'm going to play it and see if that's it. All right, honey. Thank you so much for calling. All right. Love, love.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Okay. This was the Molly's thing. They were blaming me that I gave Molly the phone number. Number one, I was live. And number two, I've never talked to him a day in my life. I've asked him, clutch your pearls. Hello?
Hello?
How you doing?
Hello?
How you doing?
Watching you now. Am I live?
You are live and on location. Yes.
Okay, first thing first. So I completely am just loving everything you do about this case.
Oh, thank you.
Watching it from the very start, and I appreciate all of your honesty, all of your everything you do.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
No, seriously, you are really, really, really a great guy. And
You're very kind.
So here's my thing. And I might have asked about this before. I am in chat sometimes. So I wonder, and I think you would be on the same page with me.
Mm-hmm.
When the Bowersox left for Alaska,
Mm-hmm.
did that not send up a red flag? I mean, that was so soon after he went missing.
Mm-hmm. Remember what Seth said? He said that they were also talking about their trips while, like, when he first got there.
Right.
Yes.
And so this has been a huge red flag for me for a long time. When I look through things and look at all the things that happened, that just seems like such a strange thing for someone to just leave all of a sudden. These are grandparents that are so invested, apparently.
Yep.
In their son's life, and with other things that have gone on.
Why would you leave your son
suddenly
there?
stop to
Even
Alaska?
yes. Why would you leave your son there? This grandson that you know, they say they love tremendously.
Right. And it happened I don't know the exact date. Maybe you remember. It was very soon after, wasn't it? Like less than a week that they left.
That's what I was wondering. How long was it after they left, guys? Actually, I asked someone that earlier because I wanted to know that. Let me see if they responded on my phone.
It was like the 1st or 2nd of March. It was less than a week. And they take off to Alaska. Right? And I have watched everything, and I've kind of watched, who knows what with the RVs and all this kind of a thing.
5 days.
But 5 days.
So that's also interesting to me because day 3, technically day 3, Chris went to get the RV. Right.
Right.
And 2 days later, they're busting out.
And so from things that I watch with, looking at who knows what with where with all these RVs and who switched what, when, where, how, it seems that there was kind of something sneaky going on there too.
That's
Like, did you not get that vibe that there's?
I mean, at the very least, in my opinion, if nothing was done, it was tasteless. Right? It was not very supportive of even Katie. You would want to support your son, and you would want to support your daughter-in-law.
I remember, and I was trying to look back and find the videos or something, but I remember very early on where the Bowersock, I think there was an interview where somebody was saying, maybe it was Mr. Bowersock, something, how they were defending their trip to Alaska. I don't remember this. It was so long ago, and I don't even know if that's still out there. Anyway.
I think she was on Facebook recently. There's a lot of things with this, right? One, we have them leaving 5 days after Sebastian leaves, 2 days after Mr. Foot gets the camper. And he also says we went down there a few times. And then not only that, we have damn, what was I going to say? We have them taking. We have them. Go ahead.
They were leaving, and he was saying something.
Oh, well, we have them following, like, people, allegedly all around. They follow JLR, Dolly, Betty. We have that. And there is also allegedly people say that, even one of the private investigators says that people kept coming up to her and saying that they saw her at that little gas station down below their house, Culver's.
Oh.
At 5:30 in the morning. Now, Kathy said, she says she doesn't get there till 10:30. Now, how do you get there at 10:30 whenever Seth was there by 8? And 8 or so, and he says you were there.
Right. How does that happen? There's just the red flags from the start. That was always the biggest red flag for me. And I wish I wouldn't follow true crime so much, but I've been watching a lot of things, and one of the things that they tell you to look for, or that you look for, is what's the behavior right around in that time. And that to me stands out. I mean, there's a lot of other things that stand out. I mean, obviously for everybody, but it just is something that I can't wrap my head around. They're leaving for some business trip to Alaska when when Sebastian goes missing. I mean, that would be the time that you would be canceling your business trip. We're not going anywhere. We're going to help find him. Oh my gosh, he's missing. How did this happen? He ran off?
Or at least one of them staying back.
Right? They both went.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It's like wow. I mean, you would think that you would stay back. One person would stay back for their son going through this, since he's having, so much stress and anxiety, and oh my gosh, we don't know what happened. He walked out of the house, he left.
Yep.
And we can't find him.
Exactly.
And they both leave? Give me a freaking break. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say it. That's a huge red flag for me. And I don't know. I thought a lot about, I would hope that maybe the FBI could trace their route to Washington State, because I
I'm
also
sure.
think it's really weird that they drive to Washington State, right? In apparently their RV. And what happened to that RV when they got to Washington State? Because then they flew to Alaska. So that seems really weird.
Did they drive back? Did they drive back? We need to find that out. That's a good point.
I don't know.
That's a good point. Very good point.
Well, the other thing is, why do they end up driving to Alaska, or not Alaska, but to Washington State, and then they leave an RV there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
Yeah.
then fly to Alaska? I mean, why didn't they fly the whole way? And when were those plans made? I'm just saying. That is like, out of anything that happened so soon from his disappearance, that just stands out to me.
It's really weird. It's really weird. And that's a good point. Did they drive back? If so, I don't know how long they were gone.
I don't either. I mean, nobody really knows, right?
Right.
But if you look at things, they left so soon after his disappearance. Nobody would have been on their tail, like looking for them in a sense of, being investigated, right? They got out of town fast, right?
Yeah.
So anything that they could have possibly done, nobody was going to be on their tail, because this is, since day one, this is everything has made it look like, well, we know, made it look like he just walked out of the house in the middle of the night with no shoes, in 20, 30 degree weather, to go where? No sense. I mean, nobody's found him since. He's never been seen. I mean, and now it's very apparent from all of these videos that I watch, with all of these lights that were going on, and a lot of stuff coming from that. I mean, that is obviously something that happened that night.
I think something happened. I think something happened sometimes Sunday evening, especially if there is foul play, because KK says he woke up fine that morning. Like, she continually talks it like it was Sunday. It's
right. And I mean, it's so hard to think that it was planned in some way, because that just is such a heartbreaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
But these kind of things have happened before. I mean, it's not out of the realm to think that really could have happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that things are being covered up, obviously.
So, right here, the Bowerfoot, she says, after 10:30 a.m. That's when, the question is, what time did you arrive at Katie's house the morning Sebastian was reported missing? After 10:30 a.m. There you have it.
And Yeah. And so, I mean, do you think that's an honest time that she really showed up?
I mean, I don't personally believe it.
Yeah.
You know? So.
I know. All I do is pray about him every day. I mean, and everyone that is involved and everyone that is putting so much time in, like yourself, and everyone in chat. I mean,
We all want this child found. We all do.
We all want it resolved, and no matter how it gets resolved,
It just needs to be resolved. Yeah. And he needs to be found. And
it does.
yeah. Yeah.
And I think that I agree with you so many times that you've said, and that law enforcement has a lot more than anybody out here on the YouTube streets would ever have.
Certainly.
I believe that. I really do.
Yep.
And I'm just, like anyone else, praying that we can get this solved. I
Me
mean,
too.
Anyway, I just wanted to call in and tell you how I felt. And
thank you so
love you
much,
so
my
much.
dear. Appreciate
And-
you. Love you too, my dear. Thank you so much for calling.
All right. Well, you take a good night and have good rest. Hope you feel better soon.
Thank you.
All right.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye-bye, dear. All right. That was a good call. Sweet lady. Sweet lady. She made a great point there. If they did take that RV to Washington, got in a plane and flew to Alaska, did they fly back to Washington and get back in the RV and drive back to Tennessee? Like, that would be, thank you, Tracy. That would be a lot of unneeded work, right? When you could just fly. So someone just sent this to me. This is Molly Golightly. I guess she got Chris's phone number and she called Mr. Foote, allegedly. There's also a ferry that takes vehicles. Yes, there is. That is true. Thank you so much. Thank you. When Sebastian comes home, please, ASE, don't let that small abusive man CP near him again. Amen. Where's my button? Amen. Thank you for that, my dear. Appreciate your support. Thank you for that. All right. If you are sensitive to language, you might want to. Yes, Lisa, that's when they did the she did the Facebook Live when she was chasing Nina. So this is, I think, 55 seconds. That's what it says.
Hi, can we speak to Crimefactor, please? Who's speaking? This is Molly Golightly. What can I do for you? I have First off, let me ask you this question. How'd you get my phone number? I'm Molly Golightly. That don't mean shit to me, man. Please. Well, it should mean shit to you. Because you want to know something, dude? You are a straight up fucking fraud. And I'm going to make sure everybody fucking knows all eyes are on you, motherfucker. Good night.
Well, that was a short and sweet call. She's got that jersey. Molly should have said Google. I'll tell you what. All eyes are on you, mother chicken. Did you see what she said after that? No. I was live when it happened. What'd she say? She's okay. Someone sent this to me.
Did you get home on Monday? Do you remember?
Okay, this is where he talks about his
I
trailer.
want to say
Okay.
it was. Well, hold on. Let's see here.
She does.
One something, I think.
Yeah. And then did you have to go back up there and get your camper? I mean, is that what y'all had to go back and get that? Somebody had to drive it
Yes.
back? Or?
No. It's a fifth wheel. It's a fifth wheel.
Oh, really?
Okay. Sorry. I couldn't tell. Somebody was just putting it.
You know, so there's a couple things that, because of this whole situation, I hope families never endure.
Right.
Without going into great details, I almost lost my job.
Yo, I do too.
Over this?
Yes, over this, very much. Yeah. And because of that, I was like, well,
Yes,
so I got
coexist.
permission, and I say I got permission. I asked law enforcement, said, hey, I need to go down, go get my fifth wheel, and I need to bring it home.
Okay.
Because right now,
A fifth wheel is it's like a camper. But the way you pull it is different. The hitch goes in the bed of the truck. And it's got this thing you lock. This is when I think his RV was parked at St. Jude's. Okay.
and they said, okay. So we told them what day we were going. And we went down there. We weren't even down there, I don't know, 24 hours maybe. I think we were down there.
I mean, if it was parked at St. Jude's, again, I don't know how it would be, but if it was, that may be why he went and got it
Maybe
quick.
17 hours, long enough to get down there. I finished packing everything up. And I'll say she didn't go. I was down there long enough to pack everything up. I spent the night in my trailer, hooked up the next morning, and came home.
Mm-hmm. So, but will you be going back to work there? I mean, they'll allow you to go back to work there? In Memphis?
Things have worked out. I will be returning to work.
Good. Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah.
Fire away.
Okay, this is another.
Well, Chris, will you tell us why it was the 17 hours? It was 7 + 7 - 3 + 2, and your trailer, and you had to get it, and you just made like 5 trips, and the pullouts. It doesn't take that long to pack a camper. You just put it all in the middle and push your pullouts in and get on the road and get going. So there had to be something nefarious that you did in those 27 hours that you were on the road.
See, I'm trying to understand the 27 hours. Like, where's the 27 hours?
I don't know.
Someone was saying they took an RV. I don't know.
The person she's talking about. The person
Hold on.
she's talking about.
I don't know. I don't know.
The person she's talking about. The person she's talking about doesn't do math very well.
Oh, I know exactly what she's talking about.
Right.
Exactly what she is.
I don't do math
Same
very
person
well.
that said that they wanted me to do something so they could sue me for my trailer.
Right.
Yeah, and you have no way to pull it. So sure.
I think he's talking about Dolly there.
I actually clipped
Yeah.
that video.
You actually thought that through. Good job.
Okay, I apologize. It was 17 hours, not 27 hours. I
This
apologize.
is
I
on
guess
Queen's
I added 10
panel.
to it.
Well, no, I mean, even if it was 17, I need some understanding of where the 17 comes from.
Honestly, I think what she's meaning is that like it would take you 3.5.
He said 17 hours. He said, first he said 24, and then he said, no, it was about 17.
Hours to get there and like 2 hours to pack up. That makes 7 hours. And then,
Okay,
one
Marlena,
way,
thank
and then
you.
you had to go back and get your trailer, and then 7 hours. Then it would make it 7 hours the other way. Like, I don't understand her math. And like, in the end, I was kind of just poking fun because like the question does not make sense. I don't understand tragedy pimp math. And what
Well,
is it
so
she's
this
trying to
is
prove in this time frame?
so here's what she's trying to prove. I can break this down real easy. She's trying to say I did something nefarious in that 17 hours that it takes to allegedly drive from here, go get my trailer, pack it up, and then drive all the way back here. That it took me 17 hours and I would have had to have done something.
Very good point. They would have had to, Autumn. They would have had to rent a car there. Right? Where the time comes from, CP.
Something with Sebastian. That's what she's alluding to. And she's actually 1,000,000% incorrect.
Well, I mean,
we know that.
Because the,
We
the
know
best
that.
part about what everybody's
Yeah.
trying to assume about my trailer,
Yes.
I find extremely
That's exactly what I said. He said 17 hours himself, and here he's making it seem like, where are they getting 17 hours from?
because
You said it.
they don't understand that it was checked out twice.
Right.
I brought it home because at one point I was out of a job.
Right. And
Right.
we're also coming into the time of year when campgrounds fill up like crazy. So if you don't pay, you don't get to stay. Otherwise, it becomes a big problem, right?
Oh, I pay in advance. I pay it my whole time. Doesn't matter. Like if they say, hey, I'm gonna be here.
Here it is.
Let's say I'm gonna be at this job for 3 months. Okay. I'll ask them, do they want me to do it monthly, or do they just want me to pay all 3 months up front? It's whatever.
Right.
So I'll pay. I brought my trailer home because I'm talking with law enforcement. I said, okay. They were aware of everything, what day we left, what time I left. I went down there, packed it up. I spent the night because it's 3.5
my
hours
microphone's
down
loud.
there. And then you got to pack everything up and get everything done. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to pack my trailer up, drive down there, pack it up, and then try to race back home like that. That's
Right.
irresponsible first and foremost. If you have a CDL, you know damn good and well that it takes one speeding ticket, you can lose your CDL. It takes one wreck, you
Absolutely.
can lose your CDL.
Absolutely. You can't, like, on top of that, just finding out that your child is missing, you're already a danger on the highway because your mind is going a million different directions as it is.
But I mean, it's I know what she's alluding to. Can I see what she's thinking? I sure can. Sure. But the other aspect of this of what she doesn't understand or these people don't understand, let me put it that way, because I'm sure there might be more than one, is that what they forget is every aspect of what we've done includes law enforcement, period.
Troopers, I'll share that
Doesn't
next.
matter. Like when we fly out of town to go pick up my daughter, they will know when and when we come back.
Right.
Chris, can you repeat one thing for me for the people in the back, please?
Sure.
Your trailer
Bueller.
was your trailer was searched.
Yes,
Yes. Repeat that, please, so that everybody hears that one more time.
it was searched.
Okay.
It was
Okay,
searched.
I've got a response to that. That's the response because that was not searched until at least day 10. There you go. It wasn't searched in the first 72 hours when he was down there at all.
Okay.
There's not been one thing that we have kept from any form of law enforcement at all. They have had access to every single thing that they wanted.
All right. Unfortunately, there is still no photograph available of what the alleged, what did that say? First camper looked like that was allegedly parked at Easy Days prior to Sebastian's disappearance. Hopefully, law enforcement will obtain the information. Allegedly, there were 3 campers. Allegedly, was the first camper that remains unknown originally at the Easy Days Park, and that is why it had to retrieve so soon. Was a different camper then brought back home on April 8th. The camper allegedly was missing from the spot at Yogi Bear. It allegedly reappeared on April 9th, but allegedly looked different later on. Was it swapped again? Allegedly. I don't know, but what I do know is something is weird. A speeding ticket will not affect your CDL. It affects it if he has an accident while working. Okay. There's another one. There's another one. Look at this. Hold on, let me make this bigger for y'all. Going to make this bigger so you can see it. October 3rd, 2017. Okay. I'm calling on all prayer warriors to pray. Prayer is powerful. This is for, okay, Faith. She is my dear friend Kathy's grandbaby. She is 4 months old. And yesterday, Judge Joe Thompson Gallatin made a cowardly ruling that put this child back in the possession of a woman who has neglected her since the very day she was born. She's talking about Nina. Shame on this lady. Shame on this lady. The same woman proceeded to leave the state with this child tonight. Please pray that God will protect this sweet child and that my family will be able to care again for her grandchild. Also, prayers for my friend Kathy Bowerfoot because her heart is breaking. All right, so this is October 3rd, 2017. Let's think about this. Chris's daughter was how old? 4 months old. He said, Mr. Foote said he has known Sebastian half of his life. So, how long have the two been together? Member KK said she was single for a year. Yeah, yeah. It's an old post, but someone wanted me to show it, and I wanted to mention this. See, Elisa, yeah, I mean she called out a judge and the judge's ruling. 8 years. Yes, Marlene, I know. Yeah, I know something about that. I can't say right yet. I think perhaps a plant. I think that was I don't know. Now, oh, I don't think it's a coincidence either. I'll just tell you that. Butterflies are free to fly. Thank you, my dear. Silver called Easy Campground, and they had no CP there. Silver made them aware of Sebastian missing as they didn't have acknowledged it. Yes. Sad. What a lint liquor. I've never heard that. Nanny needs his Annie. That's hilarious. KK said she will single for 2 years and some change. Oh, really? Well, definitely not. Definitely not single for 2 years. Not a chance. Listen, they were still married. They will deny it till the end of the earth, but I have a different opinion. I've never heard the lint liquor commercial. No. Well, that employee may have not heard of them. You know what I mean? They have different. You're welcome, honey. They have different employees. See how law enforcement believes these people. No, there was allegedly, this was going on allegedly while they were in the military from what someone who knew them both while they were working on a project together. So there's that. Yeah, that's true. Wasn't Miss Crabtree on the Little Rascals? I don't know. Lint liquor commercial. I'll watch it. Cobalt, I'll just say that I think someone was used as a plant. I don't know. Guys, I'm off to bed. Well, I'm not off to bed, but I need to jump off here. So I love you all so very, very much. Survey says, yes, I do. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. And, we've got cleared some things up today. Thank you, guys. Love you all. Appreciate you. You never know if I might be live later on my other channel, though, if I do. It is the weekend. It's the weekend. It's the weekend. I will. That's okay, Tori. It's so good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Send that post to Terry Lynn. Okay. Gotcha. CP moved Nina into Navy housing. Where was that? There's something to that as well. Got in a little bit of trouble. Right? All right, guys. Love you all. Thank you, Dina Lynn. Thank you all. Appreciate you. Good night, and God bless each and every single one of you. Justice for Sebastian Rogers. Good night.